Hi, I would like to thank the Japan Fund in Trust for the UNESCO Keizo Obuchi Scholarship for year 2011 for honoring me with 10,000 USD. I was very honored to be the first one from the multi-university to have the honor of spending this money in my research. And being the first one, I've actually promoted to my colleagues. And one of my colleagues, Helena Son, she actually subsequently get into the following cycle of 2012. I put in my proposal based on one very important question that I had in my mind for many years, ever since I started my PhD. It was basically how I can train teachers to scaffold reflective and critical thinking among Malaysian students based on the best practices from US. Without the Japan Fund in Trust sponsorship, I don't think I'll be able to answer these questions in a way that is so unique, so personal, and so meaningful in my life. Many are the plans in my heart when I put in the proposal, but it is actually the Lord's plan that prevails. When I was in US, I was very fortunate because I came into contact with two Malaysian friends who actually migrated to San Jose and Chattanooga. By spending time with them in their family, I was having the first-hand experience of how they actually brought out the children in US home setting. I also experienced and witnessed how the teachers and staff in the schools actually encourage the students in a very positive way, that all students, majority of them are very excited about learning and especially going to schools. When I reached in Alabama itself, I was very fortunate to spend 7 days with my friend whom I get to know from Facebook. She's April, and she invited me to stay with her for approximately a week. And with that, I also experienced firsthand American parenting lifestyle over there. Through my encounter and also fellowship with all the people that God has put in my life, I had basically 80% of the answers for my question. And I was also blessed that I could bring my eldest son, Samuel Onzimin, to US with me. So I actually enrolled him to E.R. Dixon Elementary School. Over there, because of the enrollment, I was invited to become a PTA member there. I was very active, participating in the activities, and I was very enlightened to see that many parents are very excited and take serious about the children's study. They were all collaborating and working hand in hand with the teachers. And not only teachers who were encouraging the students, the staff in the schools, example, those who are working in the cafeteria, those who are working in the library, and even the workers who are sweeping the floor, they were very encouraging the students throughout their hours in the schools. And that actually provide more answers to my questions as why then American students are more able to think critically and also reflective in their life. I want to special thank to Mr. Zaidi, Chief of Fellowship Program in Malaysia, for his wonderful coordination that allows me to have a very successful application from Malaysia to US. I also want to thank Dean of South Alabama, Professor Richard Hayes, for accepting me into the schools of education and provide me a wonderful office. A special thank to my sponsor, Joel Lewis, who took very care of me and who was very concerned about my study in US, and she monitored me very closely. A very important person who actually brought me very closely to what I was studying in US is actually Dr. Janet Fresney. She actually accepted me into her workshops titled Us in Education. Like I mentioned, many plans are proposed by myself, but God's plans prevails. So by the end of 6 months, I actually learned a lot from Us in Education. This is a program that actually allows the student to freely express themselves. Through the freedom of expressing, the students were actually given room to reflect a lot and think a lot about their studies at school. And the one person that I should sincerely thank is actually Professor Dempsey, who actually came to Malaysia many years back. I want to thank him personally because without his help and recommendation, I wouldn't be able to go to University of South Alabama. And during my stay over there, Professor Dempsey has been giving me the best hospitality, and I actually learned a lot from him, not only as a professional educator, but also about a friend. I was also very blessed because the moment I went was July, so there were a lot of programs offered at CERIC. So by enrolling myself to CERIC program, I learned a lot more about how the programs actually empower and also educate and bring in very refreshing idea about teaching and learning for the teachers during school holiday. All these trainings are the one that actually open up the eyes of teachers as how to teach reflectively and critically in their classroom. July 2012 is the kickstart of my wonderful experience in US. I do not know how my plan will turn out, but God was there. It was so great that He actually guided me throughout the 6 months. I have learned so much from my experience in US, and as a return, when I returned to Malaysia, I actually conducted few arts in education, teaching and learning programs in Malaysia itself and also in UK and in Cambodia. And I've trained various students and lecturers. On top of that, I was also promoted as senior lecturer in multimedia university. I would like to thank many more people whose names are not mentioned here in the video. Everyone that have crossed life with me, you have made my life wonderful in US. I want to thank God for the invention of Facebook because these friends and these people, they are still in contact with me on Facebook. So if you see me on Facebook, please accept my sincere thank that all of you have made my trip and my experience in US a very wonderful, blessed, and a spiritual growth. Thank you so much.